violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. All right, guys. So this episode, we're going to have a lot of reading, but I'm going to make it worth your while. We have a man charged with robbing 3 stores in April while on parole for robbing another nearby store. So this is all in Chicago. They are letting these reoffenders ride. I'm telling you guys, I don't know how people can still act like, as far as the criminal justice system goes, we're being mistreated in some way when you got guys like this who is charged for robbing 3 stores in April. And during that time, he was on parole for robbing another store. And I can guarantee he'll most likely get out. Okay? So a man on parole for robbing a Lincoln Park liquor store is now charged with attacking customers and employees as he robbed 3 more stores in the neighborhood in nearby Lakeview. Judge Mary Marubio ordered Jack Thompson, 45, held without bond during a court hearing Tuesday afternoon. Thompson received an 8-year sentence, when he pleaded guilty to robbing Park West Food Mart, 2733 North Halstead, with a butcher knife in the summer of 2017. He was released in August after serving half of the time, according to the state records. Damn, so he got 8 years, and he was supposed to serve that until 2025. So he wasn't even supposed to be out on the streets. He served half his time, which I don't know what type of racist justice system would allow a super gremlin on demon time to serve half his time, but he did anyway. And then he comes back out and robs another store, or 3 other stores, okay? Chicago police arrest Thompson Saturday afternoon following his 3rd alleged robbery in less than a month. So he's like, man, if I did 4 years, less than 4 years, for 1 robbery, will I really get that much time for doing 3? I guess that was his thought process. In that case, he allegedly lunged at a victim and stole cigarettes at 7-Eleven, 2619 North Clark. Investigators subsequently linked him to 2 other robberies. Workers at Eastgate Liquors, 446 West Diversey, recognized Thompson when he walked into their store around 5:15 p.m. on April 6th, according to prosecutors. He asked the clerk for cigarettes, but the employee refused, Assistant State's Attorney Lakia Duncan said. Thompson and Lakia is absolutely a sister, okay? Let that not be mistaken. Thompson allegedly became aggressive and threatened to punch the victim in the face if he didn't hand over cigarettes, but the employee again refused. Thompson became angry and pushed one employee while taking a boxing stance and lunging at another as he tried to go behind the counter, according to Duncan. So what he did was he squared up with him. He said, "Give me them cigarettes." And he didn't want to do it. So he pushed an employee, then squared up. Like, what you want to do? Let's fight. You know what I'm saying? He allegedly escaped through the back door with some of the store's merchandise. About 20 minutes later, he allegedly robbed Go Grocer, 2930 North Sheridan. There, he displayed a switchblade and tried to go behind the counter while demanding cigarettes, Duncan said. So he wanted them damn cigarettes. I don't know why he couldn't just bum one off of somebody, but I mean, the cigarette community is strong, especially in the community. The cigarette community is strong. You'll be hard pressed not to find somebody who doesn't have a cigarette. So I don't know why he just didn't bum it off somebody or bum off a cigarette and their lighter, but he probably wanted his own pack. Okay. So this is a greedy super gremlin here. The clerk allegedly recognized him from previous encounters in which Thompson took cigarettes without paying. Duncan said the cashier handed over a box of smokes after Thompson asked him if he was willing to lose his life over cigarettes. Wow. This is how brazen the super gremlins on Demon Time are. The fact that he would ask a dude, you willing to lose your life over cigarettes? So he was going to stab him up. It's crazy out here. Marubio, the judge, noted that 3 people were injured during the robbery, although none required hospitalization. Besides the robbery that he is on parole for, Thompson has previous felony convictions for retail theft, robbery, and criminal damage to state property, according to Illinois Department of Corrections records. There were no indications during Tuesday's bond hearing that the state had taken steps to revoke his parole, considering the new allegations. Prosecutors charged him with Class X armed robbery, 2 counts of felony robbery, felony aggravated battery, and misdemeanor counts of assault and battery. All right, guys. So for the next article that I have here, it's more of the same, okay? Guys getting away with doing the most brazen criminal activities, okay? Prosecutors refuse to charge a gunman in River North shooting, sources say. He has 33 prior arrests. Damn, okay? So let's get into it. Prosecutors in the office of Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx refused file charges in connection with a shooting last month near a River North nightclub, according to a source. The state's attorney bought his self-defense claim, said the source, who was briefed on the investigation. He has 33 prior arrests. The shooting occurred on the 100 block of West Hubbard around 10 p.m. on April 23rd. Video cameras captured the incident. So they got video of him shooting the block up. He's claiming self-defense. And look, that is a possibility, but a lot of times these dudes are creating these beefs that they're involved in. So anybody can really claim self-defense, because if you see your ops and you start shooting back and forth, that's technically self-defense, or at least in State's Attorney Kim Foxx mindset, it is, okay? So, very interesting. The police said the 33-year-old victim saw a man who was involved in an earlier incident, and he went over to confront him. The second man then retrieved a handgun and shot the victim 5 times, police said. There were no indications that the victim was armed or that the shooter was injured before he began firing. Detectives did good work and arrested the guy, but he was released without charges. What do I keep telling you guys? The cops are doing their job. The cops are doing their job, okay? The sources said CPD is pissed about this one. The state's attorney's office didn't respond to an email inquiry about the case. Assistant State's Attorney Kim Ward supervises the office's felony review unit, which is responsible for approving and rejecting charges that police bring in for prosecution. So you're not supposed to have a gun in the first place, and they dropped all the charges on him. He's not even supposed to have a gun, especially since he got 33 charges, so he should at least have a gun charge. But doesn't matter if they outlaw guns because they're not enforcing the law. That's why it's such BS when they push this narrative of, oh, gun violence, we need to take the guns. It's like, y'all took the guns in multiple states. You're having more shootings in those states, okay, or cities or whatever. And then when people get caught with guns, y'all ain't even prosecute them. So there's no point in taking away the guns. After a supervisor from another division said the number was about 350 times, Ward brought up the fact that prosecutors in the office's bond court section asked for a no bail hold just hours before the Zoom call. Wow. What Ward did not tell the viewers is that her felony review unit refused to charge the defendant, Gregory Stamps, citing self-defense. A Chicago police detective commander took the unusual step of overriding felony review by signing off on the murder charge personally. The state's attorney's bond court supervisor then took an even more extraordinary step. He proceeded with the prosecution. James Murphy, the bond court section supervisor, presented a detailed and impassioned argument against Stamps' claim of self-defense. The medical examiner said there were 20 to 30 skull defects, Murphy told Judge Kelly McCarthy. That's 20 to 30 shots to the head that this defendant gave over and over and over again with the hammer. Are they saying the hammer is the strap? Or did he shoot the person and then that's kind of weird. That is not self-defense. That is first-degree murder, and I would point out there are no injuries on this defendant. None. He doesn't call police, doesn't call 911. What he does is he tries to get rid of the body. Murphy continued. The first thing he says is, I fell down the stairs, not he tried to take the wop. Whoa, where did this story just go? In another case that recently raised eyebrows, the felony review unit refused to approve felony charges against a two-time convicted felon who allegedly admitted to having a gun and firing it during a shootout on the near north side. Okay. Wow, that's very interesting. The story took a wild left turn. But hey, this is the game, man. This is the game. I mean, dude's getting let out.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the Super Gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo!
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Janquavius
Hey,
Jackson,
jump on that
here
nigga,
live,
man.
reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
TV host mugged and attacked on the CTA.
It's one of 2 violent attacks on the Red Line in just the last 24 hours. He spoke exclusively to CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozlov.
She joins us in the loop in front of the Red Line. Dana.
Erica and Brad, that attack happened at the Addison Red Line stop as the victim was heading here downtown. That victim is actor Will Klinger. Klinger is a well-known and familiar face to many people here in Chicago, is the former host of Wild Chicago on WTTW. Tonight, he remains in intensive care after being beaten unconscious until...
Woo! They beat the man Will Klinger down. Dang. I'm telling you, man, they not playing on these public transit Like, they're not playing on the bus, in the subway. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Tells me he never saw it coming.
I don't have any offender information. Just says that he was robbed and hit and bleeding from the head. And the offender is no longer on scene.
That's the police response around 9 p.m. Monday night as the victim, 64-year-old Will Klinger, lay unconscious on the Red Line Addison stop's platform.
And they would have killed him if he fought back. The thing is, the reason why he didn't see it coming is because he's probably a wokester, all right, leftist, and he was trying not to profile. And profiling can save your life sometimes, okay? Especially when you see things out of order, super gremlins sagging too low. Like, if they pants is, like, I would say past 6 inches down their ass, it's OV, bruh. It's OV, okay? So, I mean, once you start seeing that type of stuff, you have to, like, realize that, yo, I might be in trouble in this situation, okay? But he was trying to do the right thing and not profile and not judge a book by its cover, and it cost him.
I was definitely taken by surprise, Dana, in a big way.
Tonight, Klinger shared this picture of him in the hospital and talked to me by phone while waiting for a second CAT scan after being hit in the head. He says he ran after a couple that suddenly reached out and grabbed his phone as he sat on the train. They ran as the doors opened at Addison, and he ran after them.
And that's where he went wrong. That is where he went wrong.
There must have been a second guy in the next to the other door who got out and waylaid me with a pipe or something as I was chasing him, because all I remember is running and then suddenly falling. And I don't even remember hitting the pavement.
That's the last he remembers before waking up in the hospital with a brain bleed and contusion. Klinger, who hosted the popular WTTW show Wild Chicago for a decade, was the second victim of a violent Red Line attack Monday. Chicago police released this picture of a suspect who stabbed a man at the Red Line's Belmont station early Monday morning.
Have individuals out here, they feel like they can do whatever they want to do and they get away with it.
Says CTA union leader Eric Dixon, responding to concerns about CTA violence and information obtained by CBS 2 that police have suspended investigations into 5 other violent CTA attacks.
It's scary on the CTA, apparently.
I told you, everybody getting off.
Now.
Klinger says he'll be more careful at night and with his phone, but believes the CTA needs to step up.
So I think they could use some more personnel, both.
Oh, well, I mean, they are going to have more personnel. Unarmed violence interventionists. Unarmed violence interventionists. But don't worry, they're trained in Krav Maga.
On the trains and on the platforms, frankly.
CPD Transit Police tweeting they now have a suspect in custody for Klinger's attack and also another robbery on the Red Line train at Thorndale earlier in the evening Monday. Klinger is expected to get out of the hospital sometime on Tuesday. He has another bit of advice. If someone steals something from you, he says, don't run after them. In the loop outside of Red.
You heard him first. Look, do not chase after these super gremlins. For one, they're gonna be faster than you. And they might be smoking you so bad they'll wait on you just to beat your ass.
Line Station, Dana Kozlov, CBS 2 News.
No matter the circumstances. And TV host Will Klinger has had 48 hours now to heal from the assault that happened to him on the Red Line Monday evening as he headed downtown to meet a friend. He got on at Thorndale, and as the train pulled into the next stop, Addison, things got, well, wild.
I had my phone out, and there was two people, a woman and a man, sitting across from me.
And he definitely looked green. Like, he looked like a smooth lick. He looked like a smooth lick, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I could see why the super gremlins ran off on the plug twice.
And the woman darted across the aisle, grabbed the phone, and both of them ran out the train car.
As he was next to the door, the 64-year-old bolted after them.
It was just pure instinct. I chased them down the platform, and the next thing I know, I really don't remember getting hit, but something must have hit me hard on the head, because I got stitches to prove it.
He says he regrets his action. The thieves got away on a night when there was another incident near Thorndale, a robbery of a female passenger. In addition to regular CTA patrols, the agency confirms it has contracts with private security firms to provide an added presence across the system.
What did I tell you? Unarmed yellow belts. They gonna be in there trying to do karate, kung fu on the Super Gremlin.
The CTA says those unarmed guards are trained in de-escalation techniques and are an added layer of trained eyes and ears for reporting incidents to police.
Code word, violence interrupters.
The face of PBS's Wild Travels, a show about eclectic encounters across America, was stunned at the violence. He suffered a contusion, brain bleed, and a swollen right hand. He was mugged years ago on the Washington, D.C. transit system, but he says with some levity, this was worse.
Maybe I'm a target, Ravi. Am I a target?
We asked the CTA.
Yes, you are. Pretty much any glider that looks like you is a target. That's for damn sure. Like, I'm gonna just show you guys. Look, Buddy looks green. He kind of looks like Mr. Bean, but then there's another guy who he looks like too that I can't think of it right now. But you know, and mark my words, there will be no consequences. Like, he kind of looks like a tall Dexter's Lab. But there's another guy who he looks like too. I cannot think of it. But hey, let me know in the comment section. He's definitely not. He like I said, he looks like a clean lick. And that's unfortunate for him. But yeah, you're a target.
I'm a target, Ravi. Am I a target?
We asked the CTA for an on-camera interview, but they declined. In the past, they have said that for a system of its size and the number of rides it offers, this system is safe. The police reiterate that victims of crime should never give chase, no matter the circumstances, and they are investigating the assault on Will Klinger.
All right, guys, so we do have an update on the teen girl who was charged with attacking the show host, TV host, whatever you want to call it, Will Klinger. She was actually released on electronic monitoring. Oh, you cannot make this shit up. Oh, you can't make it up. A 15-year-old girl charged in connection with the attack and robbery of TV host and actor Will Klinger last month has been released on electronic monitoring. The girl was placed on electronic monitoring after making a court appearance on 1 count of robbery and 2 counts of robbery of a senior citizen for 3 separate attacks in March and April. Police have said the girl and a 17-year-old boy were charged in the April 25th attack on Klinger at the Addison Street Red Line stop near Wrigley Field. Klinger is the former host of the WTTW Channel 11 program Wild Chicago and the current host of Wild Travels. The day after the attack, Klinger told CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozlov he never saw the attack coming. I was definitely taken by surprise, Dana, and in a big way, Klinger said. So she was let off on electronic monitoring, and I'm sure she'll be back on the trains robbing more gliders like Will Klinger. So there you have it. This issue is never going to stop. So hey, enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while you're here. My advice: get out of Chicago and don't use the public transit system. Even though if you're in your car, you could still get jacked. So it's a lose-lose situation. Hey.
Gang violence and other kind of